in America are vegans. Vegans means they don't eat meat, just vegetables and tofu. So they eat a lot of tofu, but it doesn't taste very good. So when I came to Taiwan, you have many different types of tofu, right? You have like miso, the tofu you put in miso, or huoguo. There's egg tofu. Egg tofu is really, really, really good.
Been to Taiwan how many years?
This is my 3rd year, 3 years. 3 years. So, I love Taiwan. So, let's see, what else do I like? I like tianbula. At first, I thought it was tofu, like a strange tofu. And after my friend told me it's fish.
Yes.
It's fish. And
Fish juice.
with rice, and they make it sticky. Okay. I like that. I love night markets. Shilin. I went to Hualien 2 weeks ago for the Dragon Boat Festival. And they have a night market called Dongmen in Hualien. Dongmen Night Market. And they have Diguacho. In Taiwan, you guys say QQ. Yeah, it's very QQ. Oh, it's okay. I had too many, so my stomach hurt. But Diguacho is very good. And
So QQ.
QQ, I like QQ.
And how to say QQ in America?
I don't
Like
think we don't really have a word for QQ. Maybe like squishy.
Tastes good.
Tastes good. It just tastes good. Like bubble tea. Bubble tea, very good. Not good for your body, but it tastes very good. Every week I have bubble tea because I really like it. In the U.S. before we never had bubble tea, but now more people like it. So there are stores. Maybe I think we have cocoa. I think cocoa went to America.
Maybe Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown.
Yeah.
Chinatown has a Chinatown has one. Yeah, Chinatown. I went to Chinatown 5 years ago, and they had a Qingxing. Yeah, so lots of bubble tea. When I was younger, I used to take the bubbles and spit them. But my brother got in trouble because he spit the bubble on somebody, and the person was very angry. So, but I always remember when I drink bubble tea, my little brother spit the bubble tea everywhere on other people. So, but have you guys been to any other countries?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Last year, I've been to US.
The U.S. Where'd you go?
Go many states.
How many different states? In the east, west,
West. San Francisco,
Oh,
Vegas, Los Angeles, San Diego.
okay. So basically all of California.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you go to Disneyland?
Oh no.
No.
It's
That's
too expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
I will go to Disney World in November. Because I want to go see my family. So we're all going to Disney World in November. But it's expensive. One person is $90 US. 90. So that's over maybe 3,000 NT for one person, for one day in one park. Because Disney World has, I think, 4 or 5 parks. So one park, one day, is 3,000 NT. Crazy. But it's a lot of fun. Anybody else go anywhere?
Thailand.
Thailand. How do you like Thailand?
Hangover.
Hangover.
Oh my god.
A lot of drinking in Thailand.
Yeah.
And the girls are actually boys. Don't mistake them. I've never been to Thailand, but I heard it's very beautiful in some places. Did you go to the beach?
I'm kidding.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
You didn't go. I didn't know. Okay. Anybody else go to other countries? No? Just Taiwan? Anybody never leave Taipei?
No.
No. So have you been to like Kending, Kaohsiung, Hualien? There's only one place I haven't gone, and that's Alishan. I really want to go to Alishan, but many people tell me it's dangerous. Dangerous, right? What do you guys think? Is it dangerous? So-so. So-so. I heard it's very beautiful, so I really want to go. So I first went to Yangmingshan, because I think Yangmingshan at night is really pretty because you can see all of Taipei, right? But
With your boyfriend?
my husband, with my husband, I'm married. I got married last year.
So your husband broke in Taiwan?
He's Taiwanese.
Taiwanese?
Yeah, my husband is Taiwanese. I met him 2 years ago in Taiwan. He works in Shida. No, he does interior design. Like, maybe you have an apartment, but it has no style. So he redesigns.
Architect.
A little like an architect. A little bit, yeah. So like maybe your room is very boring, and he can come and change your room so it's very cool, has a lot of things, a lot of style. So that's his job. But we went to Yangmingshan last year, and after I heard somebody said that Yangmingshan is a very strange place. Very strange things happen at Yangmingshan, right?
Many stories.
Many very strange stories, right? Somebody told me that I think last year there was a boy and a girl. They rode their scooter up Yangmingshan with their friends. So they were all riding their scooters. And there was a boy and his girlfriend was sitting behind him. And his girlfriend started not to feel very good. She felt very sick. And so the boy said, okay, I will take her home. She's not feeling well. So their friend said, oh, okay, goodbye. And they went up Yangmingshan. And the boy drove his scooter to his girlfriend's home and said goodbye. The next morning, his girlfriend's mom called him and she said, where's my daughter? She never came home last night. He said, what? I just took her home last night. And she said, no, she never came home. And later that day, they found her body on Yangmingshan. They found her body under the ground. Somebody had buried her, killed her and buried her. But there were no marks on her body, no marks on her body. And so the boy like, what? How could this happen? The girl was with him the whole night, but they said her body was from the day before. So do you understand? So when he was driving his scooter, some people say that wasn't his girlfriend behind her. So very strange. So be careful on Yangming-san. So strange stories. I like to hear about strange stories. Do you know TV, channel 51? Channel 51. 51. On TV. They, every night they have, at maybe 10 o'clock, they talk about strange things. Maybe ghost stories or places. Do you guys know?
Fake.
Yeah, some of them are fake, but some of them make you think, like, huh? How could that happen? So, I thought it was interesting, and I felt a little creepy to go drive Yangming-san after. I don't worry, but it's a little creepy. And Yangming-san has Wenhua College, right? So many strange things happen at Wenhua College, right? I think Wenhua College is very beautiful, but I don't know what happens. But, actually, the Channel 51, the boss, the main speaker, he is a professor, a teacher from Wenhua. So, I don't know. Actually, I have a story that I think is really interesting. I had told this to my class, so every class here, I teach something different. And so one day I taught about Halloween, about ghost stories, about strange things, about legends and stories. And one story that's very famous in America is, if I can find it, this. Okay, I'll tell you the story. Okay, so some boys and some girls were at a party one night, and there was a graveyard down the street. So a graveyard is where they put people who have died. So there's like a stone that says R.I.P.
On the ground.
Yeah, in the ground. So that's a graveyard where all those people are. So the party was near the graveyard. And one of the boys said, "I dare you to go to the graveyard." Because he said, if you stand on someone's grave, if you step on someone's grave, they will reach up and pull you in. And the girls were like, "No, that can't happen. You're just trying to scare us." So one of the girls said, "Okay, I'll go." She wasn't scared. And so the boy said, "Take this knife." So he gave her a knife. And he said, "Stick it in the ground." And that means you were there. Okay, so that means you were brave and you stuck it in the ground. So the girl said, "Fine." And she went and walked to the graveyard. And she stepped on a grave. And she put her knife in the ground. And she said, "You don't scare me." She wasn't scared. But when she turned around, she was stuck. She felt like something was grabbing her and she couldn't move. And so she started to panic. And her heart was beating faster and faster and faster. And at the party, the boys are, "Where'd she go? She's taking forever." So they all went to the graveyard to find the girl. And they found her lying on the ground, dead. But you know what? Her knife was in her dress. So when she put the knife in the ground, it got stuck in her dress. So she couldn't get away. So it wasn't anything scary. She accidentally caught herself. So she thought it was somebody grabbing her, but it was herself. So I think it's interesting how we scare ourselves. And she was so scared that she died. But it's kind of funny. But sometimes you watch the news or you hear things that make you think too much. Like maybe if I'm home alone and it's very dark and I walk down the stairs to go to the kitchen to get something to drink, I will go very quickly because I will have to turn off the lights. And so I always feel like something is behind me. So I quickly run up the stairs, but there's nothing there. So we just make ourselves scared. So, but let me see what time is it. Okay, good. So does anybody have any questions or anything you want to talk about? Anything?
Race.
Race. Why do you want to talk about race?
Because I don't know, American people will raise Chinese or...
American people, we have many different people.
Yeah.
Okay, so American people aren't just white. We have many different colors of people. Actually, the first people in America were the Native Americans, the Indians. So they're actually the real Americans. But later, what happened is in England, the king told some people to go find some new land. So the King of England, he told people to go find some new land. So they went to America and discovered America and stayed there. So the English came. Okay, so they stayed there. And later, many people from all over Europe came to America. And they stayed there. So the second was everybody from Europe. And then later, we have Mexicans, Spanish people, all sorts of people came to America. So the interesting thing about America is we aren't a race. We're just many people. Many cultures put together. Some people call us a homo, because maybe here's a tofu, and here's the meat, and here's the carrots. So many different people mixed together. So we're not just one type of people. So that's the interesting thing about America. The thing I really like is we're all different, and we all have our different culture, but it all mixes together. So what do you think about Taiwanese people then?
What?
So you have like Hakka, right? Hakka people, mainland Chinese, maybe Hong Kong, and the Aboriginal people, right? So you guys, does your culture mix together? Or do you fight?
I don't know history.
Oh, that's okay. But it's interesting. Anybody else? Anything? Any questions? Anything really? Okay, so can I ask, how old are you? 19,
18,
20?
19, 20.
18, 19, 20, okay. And what are your majors? Majors.
What's major?
Major, 专业.
20.
Computers or money? DMD. Design. Oh, that's a really fun job.
I don't.
You don't like it? Why?